Hello, everybody, and welcome to San Jose, California. We're here in the Bay Area for tonight's Sunday night SFLm action between the Salt Lake City Rustlers and the San Jose Flight. I'm Jack Brown, and alongside me here tonight is Josh Zirkle. Josh, these two teams both in the midst of the playoff hunt as things start to heat up. Salt Lake in second place, meanwhile San Jose just on the fringes of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. Rustlers cruising at 4-1 right now. But on the other side of the field tonight, the stakes have just been raised for San Jose. With Memphis having just won that game in overtime earlier tonight, the Flight are now a half game behind the River Runners for the number 4 seed in the playoffs. San Jose quarterback Joseph Green, he's having a fair season so far at quarterback in SFLm Season 3. 4 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. But he's going to need a monster game tonight to get past the Salt Lake City Rustlers, who have looked so good in the first half of the season. Jack, I think the Flight are up to the challenge, and I think they're getting home field advantage at just the right time tonight.
Yeah, as we all know around here, home field means a lot in the SFL, and it only remains true in the minors. And they get the ball to start the first half of play. Salt Lake, of course, in turn, will get the ball to start the second half.
It's going to be a dynamic matchup. I'm seeing San Jose on offense. Not only Joseph Green, who's gotten a lot of responsibility from his team, but also Jimmy Hazard, a guy who runs the ball well, but also catches it well out of the backfield. Salt Lake City's got a lot to look forward to here on this opening drive.
Couldn't agree with you more, Josh, as the kick return is taken to the 27-yard line of the San Jose Flight. Obviously, as you said, Joseph Green and Jimmy Hazard are the main components of this offense. So let's see what Joseph Green can do to start the game.
How about a little shotgun on 1st and 10?
Yeah. Looks to be a tray formation as well. Throws over, and that one's going to be caught towards the sideline and inbounds. Just short of the first down, though. Catch made by Doug Spelling.
And that is Spelling's calling card, that out route. We're going to see about 30 of those today. He'll catch about 29. And then the third one, on the 30th one, he'll have like 2 toes out of bounds and it will count as an incomplete. With Doug Spelling doing what Doug Spelling does, and that's moving the ball early.
2nd and inches. Heavy set is the formation call. Handoff right up the middle to Jimmy Hazard, and Jimmy Hazard was just, the gates were opened in front of him, and he waltzed right on for about 7 yards, 1st and 10.
Yeah, outstanding blocking up front. Johnny Van Man, the guard, among others. And you get the heavy set. You get Chris Britton up there. You get the backup tight end. And a monster hole for Hazard, who wasn't touched in the first 7 yards of that run.
Offset I formation for the Flight. And it's going to be a very delayed handoff to Hazard. And Hazard, the handoff is a little bit too delayed, I would argue, as they lose half a yard.
Yeah, it was sort of a weird angle, but really John Martin, the inside linebacker for Salt Lake City, got in the backfield and was able to blow that up. Could have made a TFL out of it. Couldn't quite bring him down, but held him up long enough for help to arrive, and it's a no gain for San Jose.
2nd down and 10, same formation as last time. Gonna be another handoff to Jimmy Hazard, and Hazard gets right back up to the line of scrimmage for the 2nd time. And 2 plays in a row, and both times it doesn't work.
Yeah, and both times John Martin right there at the point of attack, blowing stuff up. Didn't get credit for a TFL in either one of those, but he's doing a great job of stymieing this offense. And now they're at 3rd and long, and Joseph Green's got to come up with a play here.
Coming out of the shotgun, looks to be like a near sort of formation. Short drop, throws over, caught in bounds, and he's going to take it up to the 45. Not quite enough, though. 4th and 1.
No, that's a great stop by Salt Lake City. Coming out of the gate, you corral Jimmy Hazard. You corral the passing game. Doug Spelling gets his token catch, running on the out route. But that is basically a big stop for Salt Lake City.
And look at this. They're already going for it. 4th and 1 for the 45.
I like the call.
Could be an attempt just to jump him off sides. No, they're going for it. Hand off to Hazard up the inside. And it is no good. The ballsy move from San Jose, and it's not going to work out. Salt Lake, turnover on downs.
And that's Vincent Warren that gets off his block, and look at him get to Hazard and just hog ties him behind the line of scrimmage. A great move by a guy 6'7", 350. You don't expect dudes to move around that with that level of speed. But everybody got a turn on Jimmy Hazard, and now Salt Lake City sets up on great field position.
Yep, Salt Lake City and Tommy, Utah come out for their first drive of the game. Short drop from Tommy, Utah, throws over the middle. That one's caught for a first down to San Jose's 41-yard line. Simply crosses the midfield stripe, and Ace Sharp was there to catch it.
Yeah, Ace Sharp already has his team in plus territory. And now, if you're San Jose, you got to ask yourself, it was a good decision to go for it there on 4th and 1. I think it was. They were in plus territory. You have Jimmy Hazard, who I think is a guy who can handle it well, and you don't really know as a defense what to expect there. But the downside of that is when you don't get it, this is what you end up with. Salt Lake City already knocking on the door.
Another short drop from Tommy, Utah, throws towards the outside, and it's going to be a nice little gain of 3. Hickman with the reception.
And Hickman will get a few catches. You know, he's a backup wide receiver, but he will be a factor for this team. Factors in on special teams, and he will make the odd catch, as you just saw there.
2nd and 7, split back shotgun. Look for Salt Lake. Tommy, Utah has all the time in the world, throws deep, and that one is tipped up in the air. Oh, he tried to play with fire, but Mike Jones goes right up in the air and knocks the ball down.
Yeah, and this receiver is bracketed. I mean, there's nowhere for Sharp to make that catch. He's got Mike Jones in front, and that's Josh Ramsey, the defensive back, and he's playing pretty good coverage there on Sharp. Not a big window for Tommy, Utah to get that ball in, and he's very fortunate that was just an incomplete.
Yeah, that one was a little bit of a questionable throw from Tommy, Utah. Sets up a 3rd and 7. Another shotgun look for the Rustlers. Tommy, Utah looking around, going to throw it short of the first down. Shorter than the line of scrimmage as Kelsey Brown. She did manage to catch it in bounds, but it's going to be a loss of 1.
Yeah, it was, and that was great defense by San Jose. They were in the dime set, 6 defensive backs, and Menefield able to come from his perch out in the flat to come down and put pressure on Kelsey Brown. Big reason why that catch went for a loss.
So now Frank Goosey out to punt it, and the kick is high and long. Going to take a Rustlers bounce down to the 3-yard line. What a punt by Salt Lake, and now San Jose is going to have to start in the shadow of their own goalposts.
And that's a great special teams play by Reynolds there. You see a lot of guys, they have trouble finding this ball. They walk past, momentum takes them into the end zone, but Reynolds saw the ball. Give credit to Gussie for a great punt. Just checked right up there inside the 5. Great special teams play by Salt Lake City.
Heavy set look for the flight. Hand off to Hazard right up the middle. He's got a nice little hole opened up in the middle. Up to the 9-yard line, gain of 6, and that pretty much mitigates the Rustlers punt.
Yeah, I would say so. You've got dreams of a safety when you're a defense. You get a team inside the 5. You think you can make a TFL and tackle a guy in the end zone. Not so much now. Hazard with a big run out of there, and they're in the heavy set again, Jack.
Another deep drop. Going to be a nice little short throw from Green to Hazard. Loss of a few, though. That's not what you want to see. 3rd and 8, balls on the 5.
And Gerard Brody making that tackle, and that negates the gain that Hazard had on first down. 3rd and 8, and now the defense livens up. Dreams of safeties dancing in their heads once again as San Jose comes out in the offset eye.
Possibly a run would be the play to look for out of this formation. That's exactly what they're going to do. Hand off to Hazard to the outside. Hazard gets a few yards, but not really enough. And Salt Lake does what it needs to do and doesn't really lose any territory.
No, they don't. And I like San Jose made a good decision going to Hazard as much as they did. The pass on second down was a little suspect. But I've done a few San Jose games, and I really felt that they had underused Jimmy Hazard over the course of those games. Now, Hazard getting a lot of volume early. That may not be a trend that continues over the course of this game, but it's nice to see Hazard getting some work. He's only 7th in the league right now in carries, and I think that what he's able to do with the football merits him getting more touches, and that may be what we're seeing tonight.
But now we got to look on the other side of the ball, and Salt Lake gets the ball on their own 42, which is right about where they were for their last set of downs. So only a loss of 1 out of that little exchange.
You don't have to get too wild here. A first down or 2 is going to put you in field goal range.
Yeah, no need to go too aggressive. Give me a handoff here to Brooke Beisel, and Beisel trucks forward, gains a yard, and just kept running. You know, that's what you like to see out of a halfback.
And Deshaun Evans, the free safety, making that tackle. And one of the things that really impresses me with the San Jose defense is how their secondary comes up to play the run. We saw Jermaine Menefield coming up to the point of attack earlier on the screen pass, and now this time it's Deshaun Evans coming up against the run.
2nd and 9, shotgun split back, low snap for Tommy Utah. Has a lot of time in the pocket, gonna throw it on the little out route, and well, his receiver there, Kelsey Brown, she wasn't in bounds. That's kind of an issue.
Yeah, and Brown, it's the second time we've seen that with Kelsey Brown, who I think of as more of a downfield threat at working within the hash marks, and we're going to see a challenge on this, Jack.
Yeah, I don't know what there could be to be challenged. Well, the camera cut over to Kelsey Brown. I saw both her feet were out of bounds.
Well, we'll get a better look at it here. And to follow back up on my earlier point, Kelsey Brown is a player that usually materializes with the ball downfield, between the numbers, between the hash marks. Working from numbers to the sidelines is not her strength.
The pass was incomplete. The catch was made out of
And the ruling on the field stands. She did have one of her feet in bounds. However, the other one was firmly planted out of bounds. So that's how they're going to rule that.
I think they got it right. I think that was the right call.
Yeah, very clearly one of her feet were out of bounds.
And that's the perils of playing with 2 feet in this league. I mean, one of them could end up out of bounds at any time.
Yeah. Just get rid of one of your legs, and you never have to worry about it. Utah rolling around in the pocket, throws it to Brooke Beisel, and Beisel gets another yard or 2. They're going to say it's 4th and 7.
And this is a good stop by San Jose, defending a short field. And I give credit to San Jose. You could argue Salt Lake City shot themselves in the foot a little bit with that incompletion to Kelsey Brown. But I give credit to the flight. They managed to corral Beisel, and Tommy Utah not able to do much with the football in the passing game either.
On his high and long, and that one's going to bounce out the back of the end zone. Yes, it will. The gunner there almost could have probably gotten a hand on it and tiptoed at the 1. But for San Jose, a little bit of a lifeline. They get out to their 20.
And that is a breath of fresh air for them. And we will see if they go back to Jimmy Hazard, if he continues to be, I should say, more of a factor in this offense, specifically in the run game, or if Joseph Green's going to air it out a little bit now that he's got little green grass and not stepping in the end zone when he drops back to pass here.
Gonna be a handoff to Hazard. Hazard got a lot of room. He's gonna pick up a few blocks. And oh my goodness, he's out in open air. He's down to the 40, down to the 30. He is gone. Touchdown, San Jose flight. And, I guess pardon the pun, but he just took off downfield.
Absolutely did, and he got a great couple of blocks, too. A big block from number 68, and we're going to see it here on the replay. And this is just outstanding, exactly what you want to see. Look at number 68 right there, getting the block on 25, Isaiah King III, and Hazard has nobody else left to beat. Just him and green grass between him and the end zone, and that's what Jimmy Hazard could do. That's an outstanding run and a great play as a team by the San Jose offense.
Yeah, a little bit of a draw play. Jimmy Hazard ran for a total, if you include how far he was in the backfield, 85 yards for that touchdown. Obviously, for statistical purposes, it'll only count for 80, but still, What an insane run from Jimmy Hazard. And barring the extra point, San Jose is going to go up 7-0. Kick is away, and look at that. They're up 7-0.
And I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard here, Jack, but I'm saying this is what Jimmy Hazard could do. And he's got speed to get away. All he needed was the block. And Salt Lake City has been doing one of two things with Jimmy Hazard tonight. They've been stopping him at the line of scrimmage for no gain, or they've been giving up 8, 10 yards a pop, or in this case, 80 yards a pop. And Salt Lake City's going to have to corral Jimmy Hazard to get back into this game.
Well, I wouldn't consider getting back into this game when they're only down by 7 and with all the time in the world left. However, yeah, I mean, everything else you said was true, though. You know, being now on the back foot after such a shocking touchdown.
And that's fun to watch. That's why you watch SFLm, to see monster plays like that. And you know that could happen at any time.
Yeah. 1st and 10 now. Offset I. Tommy Utah directly under center. Short drop, throws it over, and what a tip! The San Jose defender just got his hand up and just knocked it down. That's Josh Ramsey, the week 4 signing with the deflection.
Yeah, it's pretty great when you can get a guy who's only been in the league a week or two and he can make a play like that. And that is a do-or-die proposition quite often, because if he doesn't make that play, that's a catch, and that's going for big yardage. But Ramsey having the confidence to get in there and knock that ball down on its way to the receiver. Great play by Josh Ramsey.
2nd and 10, handoff up the middle to Brooke Beisel, and Beisel just gets hit at the line. Nothing going for her.
No, not yet. And the San Jose defense doing a good job. Josh Slapp getting in there, one of the 2 Joshes on this defense. And they got themselves in the 3rd and 10. This is exactly where San Jose wants them to be.
Third and 10. And it's going to be a throw over to the side. And what a move to get ahead of the defender. Gains a 1st down out of it. Nice job by Salt Lake and Ace Sharp.
Now, Ace Sharp is listed as 6'1", but he really plays a lot taller than that. Just a catch radius that he gives to Tommy Utah, and does a nice job of stretching out for that catch there. But he plays with a lot of size and a lot of power, and even barreling over the defender there to get the 1st down. Just a lot of versatility from a wide receiver that plays more like a tight end.
Utah making some adjustments in the line. Short drop. Throws to the sideline once again. That's going to be caught in bounds for a gain of 5. Kelsey Brown. She's been, probably the core receiver tonight from Salt Lake so far.
Yeah, so far. It's still in the very early goings here, but Ace Sharp has 2 catches. I have that as Kelsey Brown's 2nd catch. And Kelsey Brown is just getting warmed up. When Kelsey Brown gets going and materializes with the ball down the field, that's when she really hits her stride.
Meanwhile, Brooke Beisel charges forward for a 1st down. Gain of, I think that was about 7 or so. Yeah, because she got 2 yards after the 1st down.
And Beisel getting good blocking up here. Look at this block up here from Terrell Sutherland. Opens up the lane a little bit. And Beisel very nearly shrugged off Mike Jones for an even bigger gain. But that is the best run of the night by far for Brooke Beisel.
First and 10, the downs have reset for the Rustlers. Handoff once again to Beisel up the middle. Beisel gain of 6. She hasn't had a big highlight run tonight, but Beisel still putting in her work. These little 5 or 6 yard runs, those are, just as valuable as those 80-yard runs to an offense.
Absolutely. When you get 6 yards on 1st down, that really opens up what you could do down on 2nd down and 3rd down. And 2nd and 4, this could be a run, this could be a pass, we don't know. Sutherland didn't. Might be a clue.
Throws over the middle, and that's going to be called for a 1st down. Nice job. They got the defense playing deep. They sent the receiver deep, and they played him well and just threw a nice middle-distance pass.
Yeah, Sutherland and Beisel took off the opposite flats, stunned the secondary a little bit, and then Hickman, the backup wide receiver, able to make the catch on the slant over the middle.
Moving around the pockets. Tommy Utah hits, he throws it. What a catch! Had to reach on down, bend with the back, and grab it. But Kelsey Brown, just what a catch, also in borderline double coverage.
Yeah, it does a great route. And look, watch her sneak behind the umpire there, almost running a bit of a pick. And as Brown comes free from the umpire, the ball's waiting for her. The throw's a little bit low, but Brown, as you mentioned, Jack, makes an outstanding adjustment and gets Salt Lake City the first down.
First and 10, balls in the 19. Short drop from Tommy Utah. Another throw over the middle. That was caught. Touchdown. Salt Lake City Rustlers. Ace Sharp with the reception from the very quick strike from Tommy Utah.
Yeah, Utah threw a perfect ball to Sharp, who just made his break before the ball was even in the air. You could see right there, splits the defenders perfectly. And that's number 54, Philadelphia Collins, trying to get a hand on the pass. It's just a little bit too high, and it drops right into the hands of Sharp, and he's able to beat two defenders to the end zone. A great touchdown by Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to knock them individually as players. It was the fact that they were not in position, and Tommy Utah threw an extremely quick strike. Kick is away, and the extra point is good. With under a minute to go here in the first quarter, Salt Lake and San Jose, these two Western rivals, are tied at 7.
Yeah, it's been a fun game so far, as advertised. And you're talking about that pass to Ace Sharp again, and that tells you what Salt Lake City has to do to get over on this San Jose defense. Tommy Utah had to throw a perfect ball to Ace Sharp, and Ace Sharp was able to beat two defenders just barely to the end zone. But that's exactly what it took to get this game tied up at 7 apiece.
Meanwhile, for San Jose, it's back on to 0-0 effectively. And they got to put together another drive. And, you know, net 85-yard runs, they don't exactly come too often.
No, they don't, but they boost your average. You can see that 12 yards of carry, and Hazard knocking on the door for 100 yards already. He's sitting at 96. He could very well hit it on this drive, and I think we will see some more Jimmy Hazard here.
Well, first off, it's going to be Joseph Green throwing it down to Jimmy Hazard. And Jimmy Hazard, he got hit on one side, flew over his man, but gains 9 on the reception.
And Zeus Howard on the tackle. When you mess with a guy named Zeus, that's basically what happens. It looked like he got shot by a bolt of lightning flying away from the sideline there. But a great gain, great catch and run by Hazard on first down.
2nd and inches. Offset eye. Hand off to Jimmy Hazard. If Jimmy Hazard didn't do the spin, he probably would have gotten the first down. But with all that in mind, that brings us to the end of the first quarter, folks. The Rustlers and the Flight are tied at 7 in a game that is do or die for these two teams. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Third and inches for the Flight. Hand off to Hazard. Hazard gets a first down. Easy money. Gain of 6. And it's first and 10. San Jose's got a new set of downs.
They sure do. And once again, Hazard, once he's able to get to the point of attack, is getting big yardage, getting out of that first level, getting to the second level. And if they're not able to corral him, Salt Lake City's not able to get him in the backfield, we're going to see more of this from Jimmy Hazard.
Short drop, short throw, caught. But Hazard not able to get upfield fast enough, and it's going to be a loss of 1.
That's Kenny Slider, who joined the team just a couple weeks ago, getting behind the line of scrimmage and making that play. And it seems like a simple play to make, but so often we see teams and players struggling to contain those flare routes. Kenny Slider gets it done there.
2nd and 11, short stand-up throw, and it's going to be over top everyone. Through threw that pass a little bit too quickly to Doug Spelling.
Yeah, it could have been Doug Spelling or Anthony Delano, the tight end. It looked like Delano might have actually picked Spelling and prohibited him from catching the ball. Not what you want to see from your offense on 2nd and long.
Third and 11. Empty backfield look for. Oh, what a maneuver to avoid the sack. Goes down deep, tipped up in the air, and nearly intercepted. Oh, man. What a move to avoid the sack from Joseph Green.
Yeah, and Green was nearly pancaked here by Warren. Look at, you can see right there, and just ducks. And Warren, I don't know if he thought Green wasn't going to be able to move like that, but Green does get the pass off. He lets off an absolute quail. But really, that could have been much worse. A sack, or who knows what would have happened to Joseph Green if 350 pounds of Vincent Warren would have landed on him.
So after that, 4th and 11. And Aaron Lind out to punt it away.
I mean, I saw Vincent Warren running at Joseph Green, and my life started flashing before my eyes. I could only imagine how Joseph Green felt.
Yeah, caught me off guard as well. More so the evasive maneuvering. But now for Salt Lake, they get the ball on their own 18-yard line. And for them, you know, pretty much a standard drive.
Yeah, starting at the 18. Yeah, I've got this right in front of me, Jack. Starting at the 18-yard line is only 2 yards less than starting at the 20. Very important stat.
Don't you mean 2 yards more from the end zone? Either way, that's not important. Tommy Utah throws it deep over the middle. That gets it up to the 40 or 39 technically. I guess the extra 2 yards are good for the stat padding for both Tommy Utah and Kelsey Brown.
And this is what Kelsey Brown usually does. Making big catches over the middle, in traffic, defenders interface. And that's exactly what you see. She'll hang on to the ball and come up with a big gain. And Kelsey Brown is starting to get a little warm here. So look out, everybody.
And off to Brooke Beisel. Beisel gets nothing from the run. 2nd and 10 from the 40.
And that was Deshaun Evans. Again, secondary of the San Jose defense flying up and playing the run. It is fun to watch, but it's not fun to play against. And Brooke Beisel is finding that out, as she did on that play.
Medium drop from Tommy Utah. What a grab, extending the arms forward to the 46-yard line. Kelsey Brown. You know, if I had $1 for every time that she's made an impeccable catch, you know, as of right now, probably have like $5.
Probably the best hands in SFLm right now. And she's going to be playing in the big leagues in season 17. And it is going to be fun to watch and see what she can do against the big boys.
Oh, no doubt. With the way she's playing, it's going to be majors or bust. Tommy Utah, another short throw over the middle, caught first down. Impressive maneuvering. This time caught by Grant Hickman.
Yeah, and Hickman again. I think that's his second catch of the game. Just a guy who kind of sneaks in there. You're worried about Ace Sharp. You're worried about Kelsey Brown. And here sneaks in Grant Hickman. You take the ham and cheese sandwich right off your plate before you even know what's going on. He's got your pickle too.
Yeah, the whole caboodle. 1st and 10 from the empty set. Tommy Utah pump fakes, throws over the middle, caught, and it's going to be a gain of 8 on the slant route. Nice job to get everything going. Caleb Walker, the man who caught that ball, the 5'9" receiver.
And I don't know if Tommy Utah made a bet with everybody in the wide receiving corps that everyone was going to get one catch tonight, but he is working his way through the roster. Caleb Walker, Hickman have catches. I'd like to see Yaron Hammer, the starting tight end, get a catch here before he gets too far into the depth chart.
Yeah, hand over the middle to Brooke Beisel, and Beisel waltzes right on forward to the 19, gets Salt Lake City into the red zone.
And this is the kind of drive we're used to seeing from Salt Lake. Beisel popping off a run here or there to close things out. Big catches from Kelsey Brown. Catches from backup wide receivers that we're not used to, whose names we're not used to calling, Jack. But this is a bread and butter Salt Lake City drive. And now with Sutherland and Beisel in the backfield, who knows what we're going to see here on 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Short drop, throws to the sideline, caught in bounds by Beisel. That's going to be fumbled, picked up, and it's going to go the other way to the 30, 40, 50, and he is nearly gone, taken down at the 33-yard line. Oh, that was disastrous for Salt Lake, but for Josh Ramsey, I'd say that's a pretty good outing.
A tremendous play, and there's a catch. It's a high ball, so Beisel's got to stretch for it, and she gets popped. It's Philadelphia Collins that pops that ball loose, and Ramsey, another member of that San Jose secondary coming up to play the run, gets a tremendous gift, and he's almost able to take it to the house. Whoop, right there. And look at that. He's the only guy he has to beat is Tommy Utah, but Utah has the angle on him and is able to, even at midfield, able to sneak up and catch the waist of Josh Ramsey and make a touchdown-saving tackle.
But the good news is for San Jose, they get the ball, and they're pretty much right at field goal range. Maybe towards the edge of it for some of these minor league kickers. But still, they're right there.
That would be a 49-yard field goal from right there.
And tipped away. That one could have been a pick six if Barr had caught it instead of tipped it away.
And Boogie Barr making it. He had to stretch every bit of his 6'4" frame just to get a fingertip on that ball. And was able to deflect it straight up. But what about that Salt Lake City offense, Jack? They made a great job driving down the field. They get into the red zone, and then they lose it. And now the field has been flipped by the fumble return by Josh Ramsey.
2nd and 10, handoff up the middle to Jimmy Hazard. Gain of 2 makes it a 3rd and 8. You know, even if you're San Jose, just gaining about 5 yards, that's all you need to be able to attempt a field goal.
Yeah, it really is. And a field goal will go a long way here. You know, we're not even halfway out of the second quarter. But these SFLm games that we talked a little bit before the open, these are typically low-scoring affairs, and 3 points will go a long way for San Jose.
And, oh, man, what a catch in front of the defense. Looks to be caught by Doug Spelling as Joseph Green finds the exact spot his receiver was going to be.
Yeah, a very well-placed ball, and Spelling with very reliable hands gets the job done. Caught that ball right in front of Isaiah King III. And Spelling getting his team at the first down. A little bit more, well within field goal range here now, Jack.
Handoff right up the middle to Jimmy Hazard. Hazard gets it down to the 16 as the Flight are now officially in the red zone.
And Jimmy Hazard not showing any signs of slowing down. He's got a lot of volume so far. And again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, that is not typically how San Jose uses him, but they are using him in that fashion tonight.
Another handoff. Jimmy Hazard does a little stutter step. He is gone. Touchdown.
And that was more than a little stutter step. He came to a dead stop and then resumed at full speed with his very next step. And I thought he was dead in the backfield with 2 or 3 Salt Lake City defenders around him. Look at this. He's like, and then turns it right back on. But an amazing screech and then just floored it. What an amazing run by Jimmy Hazard.
Everything just went absolutely perfect. And San Jose, they weren't looking good in terms of getting this lead when Salt Lake had the ball at about their 20. But now they flipped the field and they're ahead by 6. And pending the extra point here, they're up by 7.
And if you're Salt Lake City, you've really got to find a way to contain the run. And then earlier in the game, we saw they were giving up 6-7 yards a pop. And then they were able to make a couple plays and get Hazard in the backfield. But it seems like when Hazard wants to turn it on, he could turn it on. And the Rustlers, if they're not able to contain him at some point, San Jose is going to be able to let him run over the course of the game and then be able to use him as a closer to take time off the clock, time that Salt Lake City could be using to catch up.
Couldn't agree with you more. 1st and 10, ball's on Salt Lake's 29-yard line. And, well, for Salt Lake, now you're playing on the back foot. This is, I mean, granted, it's not something that they're not unfamiliar with.
Well, this is time for Brooke Beisel to show the league what she's able to do. She had a fumble. It stinks, but you got to move on. And you got to keep feeding her.
Throws over to the sideline. That one's caught in bounds. 2nd and 4. Can't quite tell who that was yet. Tommy, interesting little stat comparison popped up there. Tommy Utah, over 103 yards is the difference between him and Joseph Green tonight.
Yeah, Tommy Utah, like we said, I mean, he was putting together a great drive. Big catch at Kelsey Brown. Had some catches to Ace Sharp. Had the touchdown throw to Ace Sharp on the other end of the field in the first quarter. And Tommy Utah playing a great game. They're just not finding the end zone.
And off to Brooke Beisel, and Beisel trucks her way over the first down line up to the 41.
And that's what I like to see. And teams going right back to the running back after a fumble, or quarterbacks going right back to the air after an interception like that. You absolutely have to do that, whether it's the big leagues or the minor leagues. You're expected to perform. You don't have the luxury of being insulated from another future error.
As Beisel on the run gets 2 yards, tackle made by James.
And Brian James, also a midseason signing, came into this flight locker room in week 3, and he has fit right in. You got 3 safeties and 2 cornerbacks. That's a lot of personnel for a minor league defense, but San Jose making it work.
Tommy Utah got all the time in the world, and he gets hit as he throws that one. Lucky for him that could be considered a 4 pass and not a fumble. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Troy Ulmer just a split second late there. But you mentioned the time that Utah had, and really the coverage is what made the difference of that play. Utah was looking and had the chance to look for an open receiver, but couldn't find one.
Third and 8. High snap for Tommy Utah in the shotgun, moving around in the pocket.
Ooh.
He's rolling way out, throws across his body. And I think if he wasn't throwing across his body, that would have been caught for a 1st down.
Yeah, I mean, that was a wide open receiver there. Tommy Utah running to his left and then throwing to his right. And if you've never done that before, that's like trying to tie your shoes while you're driving a car. Really difficult even for somebody as good as Tommy Utah. And now Salt Lake City's going to have to punt.
As someone who's not good at tying my shoelaces or driving, those both sound hard enough, so now I can only imagine how difficult that would be. As the punter is out, and it's going to be a high sailing ball, taking it about the 20, and they're going to say he gained not much more, up to the 25.
And give credit to that San Jose defense stepping up. They take the lead. Salt Lake City knows they've got to come back. Brooke Beisel got a bit of a run, but that was it. And Salt Lake City looking for answers now on both sides of the ball. And are we going to see some more Jimmy Hazard here from San Jose? Or will Joseph Green maybe take a shot down the field here?
Deep drop from Joseph Green. Green just does a nice little short throw to Jimmy Hazard. Hazard sheds a tackler. Not going to shed 2, though. 2nd and 3.
No, and it looks like we're going to see some Hazard. Tyler Gand was the cornerback who got run over by Hazard, and Hazard just shrugged him off. And we have not seen anything from Logan Strange tonight, Jack. No catches for Strange, the other wide receiver so far tonight.
Second and 3. Hand off to Jimmy Hazard to the outside. Jimmy Hazard spins around, and he's going to get the 1st down. Already 129 yards tonight with 2 touchdowns to boot.
And as you mentioned, 80 yards of that came on one play. But Salt Lake City really needs to find a way to corral Jimmy Hazard. Maybe not stop him, but at least slow him down to maybe 2 or 3 yards a pop.
They're going to try this play, and they kind of were able to stop him. He gains 4 on the run.
One of the things that you'd love to see about Hazard is that he is not somebody that plays against his type. He is not what you would describe as a north-south runner. He's not somebody that regularly bruises up defenders, though he can do that, but he plays within himself.
2 minutes are left in the first half, folks. The San Jose Flight are up 14-7, and they're driving. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Second and 6, handoff right up the middle is going to be in for a first down up to midfield. Jimmy Hazard, once again, still just keeps on moving along.
Yeah, and he's getting a little bit of help there. And you see the block in the backfield. And those are the kind of plays that were blowing up Jimmy Hazard and his runs earlier in the first quarter. We've not seen him much here in the second quarter, as Hazard's been able to get to the line of scrimmage with a head of steam.
Another handoff, Jimmy Hazard up the middle, gain of 2. 143 yards. Currently just a little bit shy of potentially breaking the record for most yards in a single game.
And that's something. He's got plenty of game left to do that. And as the margin of this game potentially gets wider, they're going to turn to him more to close it out.
And they're going to hand off once again. Not going to get anything going. Going to lose a few yards, actually, as San Jose calls their first time out of the half.
Bogey Barr making that tackle. And Bogey Barr, 6'4", 245 pounds, is one of those guys that needs to make a few more plays like that to slow down this Flight offense and give Tommy Utah a chance to get his team back in this game. And I know we said it's 7 points, but 7 points is a lot in this league.
Hand it off to Hazard to the outside. Gain of 5, but they're going to not get enough for the first down. Call timeout.
Interesting choice on the timeout there, especially in plus territory. I think 3 yards is a lot to go for it here. So what you'll see probably is a punt. Deep, hopefully. And see what Salt Lake City could do with the last few minutes. No, it looks like they are going to go for it, Jack.
Hey, you know, they went for it earlier tonight. 4th and 3. Goes throwing over the middle. Carr, is it enough for down? Yes, it is. Yes, it was from Jimmy Hazard. What a grab, and what a way to just keep moving forward. 1st and 10 once more. Joseph Green throws it deep over the middle. The deep strike works to the 22-yard line. 43 seconds and counting.
And that was Doug Spelling making a huge grab over the middle.
Gonna be another play from that formation. Tipped, falls incomplete.
And a huge tip there. That was Kenny Slider. The week 4 signing, 6'3", 203. Making a huge play. This might have been a touchdown. And Slider reads the play. Is able to get a hand up there. And I think that was intended for Jerry Walters, the backup wide receiver. Again, another guy who will find himself with more than one or two significant catches as the game goes on.
2nd and 10, short drop from Joseph Green. Deep bomb over the middle, tipped up in the air, falls incomplete. Tried to go for the end zone, but you know, we're talking about efficiency here. Probably would have had an equal shot if they just gave it to Hazard.
Yeah, and Anthony Delano, the tight end there, 6'3", 225, and he's only been on the team for a couple weeks, and I think Green is trying to get him worked into the offense. And I think that is Delano's first target of the game. Can't give it to Jimmy Hazard on every single play.
Short drop from Joseph Green. Pump fakes, throws to the sideline, going to be tipped incomplete. 4th and 10, and San Jose is going to have to send out the field goal unit.
Yeah, not a great throw there by Green. The Rustlers really brought some pressure there. Forced Green to move around in the pocket. He threw a bad throw. And that could take some points off the board potentially, since we'll be looking at 3 points instead of a potential 7.
Kick is away. It's up, it's over, and it's through. San Jose takes a 10-point lead, and Salt Lake, they have 20 seconds, give or take, to go the length of the field.
And again, that's not something that Tommy Utah is unable to do, especially with Kelsey Brown and Ace Sharp. But it's a very tall order against a defense that already has a turnover, number one, but number two has been playing very well against the run and the pass and getting pressure on Tommy Utah to boot.
Kick is away. It's going to be fielded at about the 10. Clock starts now. As, some movement made at the initial contact with the pack. So 70 yards in 15 seconds, I would say you see one of those like Hail Mary setup plays, then they just go for it.
Yeah, I think so if they decide to go for it here, or they may just hand it off and just let time run out. San Jose only has one timeout here. So if they wanted to kill the clock and let this thing roll to zeros into the third quarter, they could certainly do that.
It's all up to Salt Lake at the end of the day, though. They're just going to hand it off to Brooke Beisel. Beisel gets to the outside, gains 4 yards, and they're going to be hurrying it up. I think they're going to try and spike it here. Don't have a lot of time. No, they're going to hand off to Beisel again, just run out the clock. And, well, I just got double bluffed. They're going to call a timeout with 1 second remaining and then take a shot for the end zone.
And you might as well, and sometimes you want to see what you can get on the ground, I suppose. And Beisel, you want to give players every opportunity. This is a developmental league. You want to give players every chance that you can to see what they can do. And sometimes a situation comes secondary to that.
3rd and 5. They're going to go for the end zone here. Actually, no, they aren't. Throws to the sideline, caught in bounds, as that's just going to be taken up to the 44-yard line and bring us to the end of the first half.
And that's a pretty good first half, Jack. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did.
Oh, I certainly did. San Jose, and more importantly, Jimmy Hazard, they came to play tonight, and, I mean, it shows on the scoreboard. It's going to show up on the stats here in a sec. They've done extremely well. 148 yards rushing through one half.
And that's pretty good. And it's been because of plays like this where he's been getting blocks at the first level and then at the second level. And then, of course, on this huge 80-yard touchdown run, when you can run past everybody, that's always nice, too. And that's not even accounting the what he's been doing out of the backfield, catching the ball, turning upfield. And not all of those plays have been roses either. But Hazard has been a very versatile threat. I would almost argue at the expense of the receiving corps. Doug Spelling has a few catches. Logan Strange, I don't think even has a target in this game. Anthony Delano only has one target. And as long as Hazard is able to keep doing this, great. I've seen a lot of San Jose games where Hazard has been the supporting piece, and it's been Doug Spelling, Logan Strange, and Joseph Green. And the air attack has prevailed and been the headliner. Well, tonight, Jimmy Hazard's the headliner, and he's making the absolute most of it. A great game so far. I can't wait to see what he does in the second half.
Yeah, meanwhile, for Salt Lake, they've been there throughout most of this game. It just seems to be that they can't put together a scoring drive. Obviously, that one massive mistake in the second quarter really cost them. And that's kind of the key thing that's been keeping them down by 10.
And one of the advantages they had earlier in the first half that you made mention of was the field position. And San Jose was able to overcome that. And then when Salt Lake City did have to drive the length of the field is when they gave up the fumble. And I wonder if we'll see Salt Lake City maybe make a play to get better field position to capture some of those hidden yards here in the second half. Well,
they're going to get the first touch of the ball here in the second half. And they're going to take it up to the 27. That's what they're going to start their little rendezvous.
And that's not a bad place to start. Anything past the 20-yard line is just gravy. And you get a few extra yards there. And Tommy Utah is going to try and smooth out that picnic blanket and have himself a picnic here.
Handoff up the middle to Brooke Beisel in a nice little run to start off with, 2 yards. She's been doing okay throughout this game so far, barring the fumble. She has 36 yards, which really isn't that bad.
No, not at all. And I think she's done a nice job of running the ball. I think this Philadelphia defense, or the San Jose defense, including Philadelphia Collins and the secondary, have done a nice job of corralling her and not giving her a chance to run off any big explosive plays.
Throws over, caught first down from Tommy Utah. And that's going to get up to the 39-yard line for them, and that is caught by number 46. That is the tight end, Torrey Perry.
And Torrey Perry, is the one guy that was able to slip away there on that coverage. And the secondary looking for the run there. Let Torrey Perry go, and that's all they got a first down for.
Running right up the middle is Brooke Beisel on first down. And it's going to be 2nd and 6 from the 43.
And this just may be the game plan for Salt Lake City for the entire second half, Jack. Just a steady helping of Brooke Beisel. And then Tommy Utah peppering between the second and third level, trying to get Ace Sharp and Kelsey Brown some more targets.
Deep drop from Utah for a short throw, but it's going to get over the middle for the first down. Up to the 50-yard line, exactly where it needs to be, and not a single yard more.
And it's Hickman, the secondary, giving so much attention to the headline receivers, and Hickman just camps out in the hook zone. He's at a dead stop when he catches this ball, Jack. Has to finally make a move and regain some inertia. It kind of gets hunted down by Philadelphia Collins, but it is a first down.
Deep drop from Tommy Utah. Going to be a nice little throw to compensate. Oh, makes a man miss. Up to the 35 of San Jose is Kelsey Brown. 7 catches for 73 yards. For most wide receivers, that'd be considered a really good day at the office.
Yeah, it really would. And that's not a bad day for Kelsey Brown either. And she's got more to come. You mentioned the receiver that she made miss, or the defender, excuse me. That is atypical of the San Jose defense. And if Salt Lake City's going to get back in this game, Kelsey Brown's going to be a big part of their plan for doing so.
1st and 10. Throws it over to the sideline. Caught for 7 yards. Nice little gain. Not too complicated is the throw to Ace Sharp.
Yeah, and they got a good matchup there. Sharp was being covered by Jeremy Toombs, the linebacker. And Sharp is going to win those matchups. And credit to Tommy Utah for finding him there on the right side of the field.
Second and 3. Handoff to Brooke Beisel. Beisel with a couple of blocks gets the first down to the 22 of San Jose.
Yeah, and I thought Salt Lake City might take a shot at the end zone there. You're at the 25. You're almost in the red zone. The defense isn't really starting to compress yet. But instead, they took the field position and gave it to Beisel on short yardage. Remember, that didn't work out well for them on a particular drive in the first half, Jack.
Short drop from Tommy Utah. Throws. It's going to be the same sort of thing to Brooke Beisel. Beisel able to hold on to it this time. That one was a risky throw. Actually, no, that was to the fullback, Terrell Sutherland.
And I think that is Sutherland's first touch of the game. And a pretty good one. It gives Beisel a bit of a spell. But it also gives another talented running back a chance to run the football at 6'4", 236. Sutherland's not going to get the opportunities that he would like, certainly. But he does make the ones that he does get count.
And off up the middle to Brooke Beisel. Beisel nearly shedded the tackler. She had the end zone in her sights, but not quite able to make it work. Still 1st and goal.
And a tremendous run here. She keeps the legs churning, breaks through some trouble there. Philadelphia Collins gets shrugged off, and Jermaine Menefield hanging on for dear life, dragging Beisel down inside the 10-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10, not quite 1st and goal. A tremendous run by Brooke Beisel.
1st and 10, ball's right at the 10, so. Deep drop, throws to the sideline, caught in bounds. Gain of 2 on the play.
That's Caleb Walker. Walker has his 2nd catch of the game, and Yaron Hammer still shut out on the stat sheet at some point. And if you're in the red zone like this, and I know it's not 1st and goal technically, but if you're in a goal-to-go type of situation, the tight end is the player you want to be able to factor in here. You're going to get a good matchup, but also probably win a height advantage and just put the ball up in the air.
And off right in the middle of Brooke Beisel, not going to gain anything. 3rd and 8.
And I would like to see Tommy Utah go to the air here. You've got some room. Kelsey Brown is probably your best player right now. With all due respect to Brooke Beisel and Ace Sharp. And I would make a play to get the ball into her hands.
Low snap for Tommy Utah. Has all the time, throws the corner of the end zone, tipped up in the air. And Salt Lake has to settle for the field goal. What a defensive play from San Jose.
Absolutely. They ran 15. You could see Kelsey Brown stop short of the end zone, and they're making a play to the pylon. But look who's there. It's Deshaun Evans, and he sniffs that thing right out and is able to get in front of that ball. Utah needed to put that ball closer to the sideline. So either A Sharp was going to catch it or it'd be incomplete. It was a little too close to the goalpost in that sense. And Deshaun Evans made an outstanding play to take points off the board.
So now on to the field comes Salt Lake's field goal unit. Kick is away, and it is through for 3. It's a 7-point ball game midway through the 3rd.
And now if you're San Jose, you just give the ball right back to Jimmy Hazard, and you evaporate as much of this clock as you can. You're at home. You got the crowd on your side, and very nearly you'll have the clock on your side. I'm not saying you want to kill clock here with a 1/4 to play.
No.
But you want to run your bread and butter. And as far as this game goes, that bread and butter right now is Jimmy Hazard.
And the return gets up to the 29, 9 yards of gravy. That's what I like to see.
9 yards of gravy. I'm having the visualization of like, how much gravy is 9 yards of gravy?
I don't know, but I would have to consider it for my Thanksgiving feast this year.
I know, because when you order that at the supermarket, you would not order your gravy in yards. You probably order it in like a tub. You know, they have like the cup and then the bowl and then whatever's bigger than the bowl.
Yeah, as the pass goes over for a gain of 6 on the play. Nice job to get the pass off to number 83, Logan Strange.
And usually if the gravy is something bigger than a bowl, it might be like a 9x9 Tupperware type of container, like something really nice. Like when all the gravy's gone, like you could probably keep that container and put other things in it, whether it's Thanksgiving turkey or maybe even something for Christmas.
Yep, as the handoff to Jimmy Hazard goes, he's going to make a man miss, and that's a lot more gravy than 9 yards. He's going down past the 20, past the 10. Touchdown flight once again, and Jimmy Hazard, he's on pace for a record-breaking night, and that is going to be certainly something to add on.
It's absolutely gravy, and this is insane. Salt Lake City knows exactly what's coming. Well, they run the draw here. It's a great setup. Spin cycle, makes the defender miss, and he is off to the races. And he's even outrunning Doug Spelling here at this point. Just a tremendous, tremendous game for Jimmy Hazard.
Yeah, just outran everyone and everything in the city of San Jose. You can play Usain Bolt in that field. He probably would outpace him. And the San Jose flight respond almost immediately.
But great blocking up front again. And Hazard, you know, he is hitting the line of scrimmage with a full head of steam. that's part of the reason he's been so difficult to tackle, that by the time he hits the second or third level, like, those guys just don't have a chance. Just tremendous running.
Simon Wells' kick is away, and it is good, 24-10. And both these two teams, they're not letting up anytime soon, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is shaping up to be one whale of a game.
Well, with Memphis beating Ottawa earlier, and remember, San Jose beat Memphis. So San Jose, if they win tonight, and it looks like they're on their way to doing so, they're going to own that tiebreaker over Memphis, and they'll be back in the 4 seed in the SFLm standings. So when they saw that game go to overtime and they saw Memphis beat Ottawa, the writing was on the wall at that point. They're running out of schedule. The margin for error is dwindling in terms of these games. And whether it's Salt Lake City coming to your building or somebody else, you got to get the job done. And right now, San Jose is doing that. I'm incredibly impressed with what I'm seeing from them tonight.
First and 10. Tommy Utah in the split back shotgun. Low snap. Looking around. Has all the time in the world. Throws deep to the sideline. That one was nearly picked off. Would have been easily back in the end zone for San Jose had he come down with it.
And look who it is. It's Josh Ramsey, who had the fumble recovery in the first half in Utah. He just tries to jam this thing in there, and he's double covered. Ramsey's there, and it looks like number 33, Mike Jones, is there as well. I mean, there's no place to put this ball, and Utah tries to jam it in there and almost paid the price.
Yeah, it seemed to be that Utah just kind of was going for harm reduction. Didn't find anyone to throw it to, so he's like, I guess that's the best opportunity. Second and 10, offset eyes look. And off to Brooke Beisel right up the middle. Brooke Beisel nearly got a lot more out of it. 3rd and 7.
We were talking about the clock earlier, Jack, and how San Jose is really not in a position to shorten this game necessarily, or maybe not to kill the clock in this game. So Salt Lake City has a chance to run the ball here, and they're still keeping Brooke Beisel involved in the game plan, and I think that is a positive move for them.
Throws towards sideline, inbounds, and not able to turn up field. His ace Sharp. Gotten a lot of receptions so far, but kind of have to be kicking himself for not turning up field quick enough.
Yeah, and he got a lot of cushion there. Bryant James, week 3 signing, had that deep quarter of the field, and it really wasn't even that deep. It was a second level. It looked like maybe a cover 6 from the defense there. And Sharp didn't get a good enough ball to be able to turn up field. But really, as you said, that should have been a lot more.
Nearly blocked is the punt from Salt Lake. And San Jose takes up to the 31. 4:17 remaining in the third. This third quarter, I gotta say, despite the fact that San Jose does primarily run stuff, it's been a very long third quarter.
It's been very long, and it's been very exciting. And I think that as this game carries on, we're going to see San Jose try and give Jimmy Hazard some sort of, I don't want to say a break, but maybe get some more players involved. And then Salt Lake City, they're going to keep throwing the ball as well. So this game might get even longer before it gets shorter.
Yep. As Hazard's going to lose a yard on the reception. He's known for having some pretty good hands for a halfback. It's just in those positions you can't really get anything done.
Yeah, I think Salt Lake City has had the flats buttoned down pretty well. And he is a good receiving running back, second in running back receptions and running back receiving yards, behind only Bailey O'Shaughnessy, I believe, in both of those categories.
Deep throw from Joseph Green, and that one was a very risky little thing to Logan Strange. Caught him up in double coverage, but, had that paid off, it would have been great.
Yeah, it would have. Maybe not the best decision, but Logan Strange, and that is his first target of the night, Jack. And I think Green is desperate to get him involved. And I think the desperation was illustrated by the quality of that decision and really the quality of that throw.
Looking around now as Joseph Green throws a short to Jimmy Hazard, and Hazard loses a couple more yards, makes it 4th and 13.
And great up and field tackle there by Matt Kander, who's able to corral Hazard again. Not to sound like a broken record, but they've done a nice job of containing Hazard for the most part on those catches to the flats. And that's enough to get the San Jose offense off the field.
Oh yeah, Butter, I'm coming. I'm blocking this.
4th and 13. Punt is away, and it's going to be fielded at about the 36 or 37 yard line, taken up to the 39. So after the 3 and out, Salt Lake gets a little bit of a breath to possibly reconnect themselves.
They do, and they've got an opportunity. They've got the time. They've got the talent, certainly. It's just a matter of stringing some good plays together here. We saw the A-sharp reception where he went out of bounds a little early in front of the first down. You got to stop doing those things and keep the chains moving forward.
Short throw to Brooke Beisel, and Beisel moves her way forward and gains 3 on the play.
And you might think that's not a very productive play or not a very inspiring play, but really what you're doing is you're just mixing this up a little bit. You're trying to give that defense a different look, giving them something else to account for. And Brooke Beisel getting 3 yards may not seem like a big deal, but when you're playing defense and you're flying all over the place, you got to stop and make them think about something else.
And it's going to be a little play action throw from Tommy Utah, and it worked to perfection. Found the hole in the defense and got it off just in time to none other than Kelsey Brown.
And Kelsey Brown does a great job of getting open here. It's a very good route. Great play action by Utah. And she had the defender full. That was Josh Ramsey thinking she was running on the 9 route. And she just turned that inside on a dime. And the ball was right there waiting for her. Great route, great throw, great catch.
Another deep throw from Tommy Utah. That one was nearly picked off again. Another risky throw to Kelsey Brown. You know, I'm surprised that Salt Lake's getting this desperate with still so much time remaining in the game.
I don't know if it's desperate, Jack. I mean, this is something that I've seen. I've done 1 or 2 of their games. They like to throw the ball down the field. And Kelsey Brown loves to catch the ball down the field. But this might be the best secondary that they have faced. When you look at the talent, especially Jermaine Menafield, though, who did a great job of knocking that ball away.
Tommy Utah going to throw to the sideline, caught in bounds. That's going to be a first down to San Jose's 29-yard line. Kelsey Brown given a little bit of an easier job this time.
A little bit, but she pays the price. Jermaine Menafield gets a good lick on her. And Utah standing strong, getting great time to throw that. And Menafield coming up to make that play. Kelsey Brown and Jermaine Menafield, those two are going to go at it all through the 4th quarter, Jack. That's a matchup to watch.
1st and 10. Utah given a lot of time to throw. Throws it short, and that one could have been picked off. Had the receiver just been set. Pass was intended for number 46, Torrey Perry, the tight end.
And that was Mike Jones, who very nearly had his own highlight moment. Very unfortunate for him and for San Jose that he was not able to reel that in. And very fortunate for Tommy Utah. He lives the day.
Second and 10. Utah moving up the pocket. Throws towards the sideline, and that's not going to go anywhere. Intended for a Sharp, just led him too far out of bounds.
And you see the numbers there on Sharp. 6 catches on 10 targets. And his numbers are usually much better than that. But you saw there why Josh Ramsey playing outstanding defense. And Utah is a very good quarterback. That's the best matchup he could find. And he's really struggling to find his wide receivers in good situations down the field.
Throws it over the middle, and the nice all slants play works from 10 yards out, gets him to the 13, and Kelsey Brown with another catch to her resume.
Absolutely. And you could see Hickman sort of you don't want to say setting a pick, but running along with her. And she's able to look back to Tommy Utah and catch that ball just in time. And it is just in time for Salt Lake City. 1st and 10. The Rustlers knocking on the door here in the red zone.
Short drop, throws it over to Brooke Beisel, and Beisel charges forward. Gain of 4 on the play, gets him down to the 10.
A nice catch and run, giving the defense something else to think about. You can't really stretch the field vertically here, but you can stretch it to some extent horizontally. And that's what Salt Lake City trying to accomplish with that play.
Hand off to Beisel up the middle, and Beisel just gets held up. Gain of 1 or 2 down to San Jose's 8-yard line. It's 3rd and 5.
And it's Philadelphia Collins who came in to make a huge play there. And San Jose still in that nickel look. So they've got 5 defensive backs on the field, only 2 linebackers. So it's Collins and Josh Slapp left there to defend the runs in the middle, and Collins actually got the better end of that one.
Short drop from Utah, throws to the sideline, caught it, but not enough from Kelsey Brown. Just not enough field to work with, and it's 4th and 1.
Yeah, she needed another yard, but honestly, I don't know how she would have found another yard there. She made a great catch. Utah threw it behind her, so she was the only one that could get that ball. You saw the toe touch, and now it looks like they're going to go for it.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Get your 4s and 86s up in chat, folks. I better be seeing them. It's 24-10 at the end of the 3rd quarter. The Flight are on top of the Rustlers, and the Flight have firmly asserted control of this game. You're watching the SFLm on Twitch. So with the field goal coming, it is up and it is good. Salt Lake down by 9, and while there still is a boatload of time left, they need to get a stop on this next drive.
Yeah, absolutely. Field goal there, very conservative play. It does guarantee you some points. But now you still need 2 scores. And that means you need at least 1 stop from San Jose, if not 2, if you get a score and an onside kick. And that is a tall order for a team that has come into this environment in San Jose and found the Flight giving them all that they could handle.
So after all that, it's 1st and 10. You've just tuning in with us now. San Jose up 24-13, and Jimmy Hazard, the halfback, currently on pace to break the record for most rushing yards in a single SFLm game. And they're going to try and give him a few more on top of it. However, the little attempt only goes for 1 more.
And I don't know if that is the best use of Jimmy Hazard at this point, when you still have Chris Britton, the fullback, who could take a carry or 2 off your plate. But this is dancing with the girl that brung you. And right now, Jimmy Hazard is that girl.
True. Deep drop. They're going to throw to Hazard again. This time, Hazard could have picked up the block, but whoever was there blocked him instead.
Yeah, it was Doug Spelling, who's not used to blocking downfield. It probably just got confused, forgetting which guy was actually his teammate and which was the defender. I mean, it could happen to anybody, I guess.
3rd down and 3. Green in the shotgun. Green looking around, throws it to the sideline, caught in bounds. That's a 1st down. Doug Spelling with the reception.
And this is what San Jose and Green need to get going. They need to get Spelling involved. Logan Strange still does not have a catch in this game, and they need to get him involved as well. You have an 11-point lead. And the clock, not quite your friend at this point, with just under 10 minutes remaining.
Low snap, throws over the middle, caught, gonna be gain of 9. Makes it 2nd down and 1 from the throw from Joseph Green. So you can't quite tell who caught that yet. Oh, that's Doug Spelling.
Spelling once again, the straw stirring the drink in the San Jose passing game. Just an incredibly reliable receiver. Joseph Green leaning on him for good reason.
Handoff directly up the middle to Jimmy Hazard. Gets the 1st down up to the 45. Gain of 3 on the play.
And you see Hazard averaging 9.9 a carry, nearly a 1st down every time he touches the ball. And obviously he's had some big runs to get a little bit more than that. But he is closing in on the record of 289 rushing yards in a single game, held by Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Hazard a realistic chance of breaking that.
As he gains a few more on top of it, 2nd and 8. Ball's on Salt Lake's 43-yard line.
And ironically enough, Jack, the one thing that might prevent Jimmy Hazard from breaking that record is Jimmy Hazard. As much as he's been running the ball and as much time as San Jose has taken off the clock, he may not have enough game time to actually come close to that 289.
Throwing towards the sideline this time. They're going to gain about 4. Makes it 3rd and 4 for the flight off the Doug Spelling reception.
And San Jose, another chance to put points on the board here. They're in plus territory. They need another 1st down or 2 to kick a field goal and make this a 14-point game, or maybe even do a little bit better than that.
3rd and 4, throws over the middle, and that's going to be tipped up in the air. Who's going to come down with it? Nobody. 4th and 4.
And Delano there again, unable to come up with it. And he has not really had a lot of high probability situations. Both the targets that we've seen, difficult situations, difficult catches would have to be made. And those are tough to make when you're not into the rhythm of a game and getting catches early.
Possibly could pin them in the corner of their own end zone as the kick is high and away. Going to have to be bounced to the 4 and caught in the end zone. Too much momentum on the runner. It's going to be taken up to the 20.
Yeah, that was a difficult play for Alan Lucas. And he did catch the ball in front of the goal line, but could not stow his momentum in time. And now the Rustlers are getting some free yards here.
First and 10. And that was a bit of an interesting play action, but it works. As Kelsey Brown gets the call over the middle. 12 catches for Kelsey Brown through this game for 135 yards. I mean, you know, she's getting her name called a lot, and she's putting it to good use.
Yeah, she is. And she is creating offense in a way that Ace Sharp and Uron Hammer and even Terrell Sutherland, and to some extent Brooke Beisel, have not been able to do. She's done a nice job at getting open and creating opportunities at a very tough San Jose secondary.
Short drop from the shotgun, going to be a gain of 5 on the nice little throw to the sideline, and it stops the clock for what that's worth.
Yeah, that's always helpful when you're under 8 minutes to play, under 7.5 to play. And Kelsey Brown, again, that's her 13th catch. And she's going to have a lot more before this thing is over.
2nd and 5. Short drop, going to be a draw play up the middle to Brooke Beisel. Beisel gains 2 yards, makes it 3rd and 3.
And if you could get yardage on that run, that's great. But you're not in a situation now where you can leisurely hand it off to the running back anymore. We're now under 7 minutes to play here in regulation. And even to see a power-eye set like this, Jack, I think is really interesting at this point in the game.
Short drop from Tommy Utah. Throws over the middle. Caught. First down. Well, Josh, you impressed with that?
Yes. Yes, I am impressed with that. Ace Sharp making a nice play in traffic. Running a slant. This looks like soft coverage, though. You can see right there. He's got play right there in the middle. Jeremy Toombs. Did he have it? Was that his man? Was that somebody else's man? Really hard to tell from just a single replay. But Ace Sharp finally getting a little more volume. And he needs even more. He's at the bottom of your screen now on Menafield. And that'll leave Kelsey Brown free to make a big play.
Tommy Utah going deep over the middle. That was going to work out for them just swimmingly down to the 13-yard line. Kelsey Brown, what a catch.
And she's in the slot, so Menafield is not there. Philadelphia Collins might have been the one responsible for covering her. And that's a matchup that Kelsey Brown's going to win every time. Huge catch and great materialization downfield with the football. And Salt Lake City's in the red zone.
And off to Brooke Beisel, gain of 3 on the play. Gets it down to the 10-yard line. It's a very similar situation to what they had at the end of the third quarter when they were going the other way.
So if Salt Lake City is able to find the end zone here, Jack, they're going to have to go for the 2-point conversion to make this a 3-point game and make it a situation where they could kick the field goal and send this thing in overtime. If they're not able to do either of those things, then they might be looking at 2 field goals or a touchdown.
Basically, it'd become a lot harder, but Brooke Beisel tries to take it on her own legs. 70 yards on 21 carries, not the greatest night for her. I mean, it's a decent night, all things considered. But compared to what Jimmy Hazard's been doing, it looks like next to nothing.
And the biggest difference between those two performances have been the big runs. And Brooke Beisel has just not had a chance to break off a big run here the way Jimmy Hazard has.
3rd and 5, Tommy Utah moving out the pocket. As he throws, caught, touchdown! Salt Lake City is still in this, folks. What a grab by Ace Sharp in front of the end zone, and what a throw by Tommy Utah as he was hit as he threw.
Yeah, Tommy Utah under duress as he lets this ball go. A dangerous situation, and Sharp right on the goal line, going right in front of 3 San Jose defenders, and able to find space to catch that football. His feet were in the end zone when he caught it. No question about it. It's a touchdown. Here comes the 2-point.
A lot of the game comes down to this. 4:38 remaining in the ball game. Hand off to Beisel up the middle. Beisel tries to go around the outside. She had a hole in the middle, but she didn't go for it. 24-19.
Yeah, Beisel, tried to bounce that outside. And I don't know what she saw, but it did look like she had some room to the right side. And she very nearly did it. She took such almost a 90-degree angle running parallel to the end zone. If she'd kept moving forward, that might have been a different story.
Well, it's the onside kick time as they kick it high. San Jose recovers. What a job by San Jose to get that one. Just simple, cool, calm, collected. Did what they needed to do.
Almost routine, the way that they came up with that. And maybe it's a little early for the onside kick. 4.5 to play. You've got all your timeouts. You get a stop, and you have a chance to get the ball back. You would have had a chance, to get the ball back with reasonable time. But now you're giving San Jose a short field after they've been running on you the whole time.
Yep. They're going to hand off to Jimmy Hazard to start the drive. Not going to get anything, not going to lose anything. But the most important thing of those 3, keep the clock moving.
And there you see the numbers for Hazard at 220 yards. Just an outstanding performance. The linchpin of the game plan tonight. It has not been the case all season long. Hazard has deferred to Doug Spelling, to Logan Strange, to this passing game. And Hazard has had his moment, and boy, has he shined tonight.
And off of the middle to Hazard again. Hazard carries around the entire Salt Lake City Rustlers team with him.
And he's going to stay in there.
Yeah.
5-point game. This is a time where you need your great running backs to perform. And Hazard needs to come up with another first down here. They got a chance to maybe stick a fork in this game.
And off to Hazard, gets the blocks. He's going to lose yardage. Not what you wanted to see. And it's right on the edge of field goal range, too. So realistically, best case scenario that could happen here, it's just Salt Lake City has a long field to work with. And no, San Jose is going to punt it.
Well, I think punting is a good decision. This would be a 52-yard field goal, probably out of range for most SFLm kickers. You got a chance to pin Salt Lake City deep. Your defense is playing very well. Tommy Utah's been flustered. I know they just went down the field and scored a touchdown. But play to your strengths, and right now your strength is your defense.
High kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 3. So 2:42, all 3 timeouts, plus the 2-minute warning remaining. And Salt Lake's got 97 yards to go.
And obviously an attainable task, but they have not had a great deal of success against this San Jose defense. And now they're going to have to throw the ball some more.
Short drop, interesting call, throws it over to Beisel. Beisel able to get out of the shadow of the goalpost. 2nd and 4.
And there's actually Terrell Sutherland, who did a nice job of turning upfield on that play.
I'm sorry, Terrell. I know you're going to be in my DMs telling me about that after the game. 2nd and 4. Short drop from Utah. Throws over the middle. That one's caught, nearly intercepted. The linebacker was right there on top of it. And possibly one final play left before the 2-minute warning. Short drop. Utah throws, hits, he throws. 2nd and 10. The only upside to something like that is they get one additional play in before the 2-minute warning.
And Robert Crone getting the pressure there. Crone's got a few sacks this season. He's done a great job of getting home on most rushes. He usually has a sack or 2 at this point in the game. Not today, but he has been in Utah's face and certainly was there.
Second and 10. Deep drop from Utah. Throws over to the sideline. Caught by a sharp gain of 2. So it's 3rd and 8. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. It all comes down to this, folks. 2 plays, maybe, to decide this ball game with 1:59 remaining. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Third and 8. A lot comes down to this. Low snap for Utah. Throws to the sideline. Caught. Can they turn up field for the first down? No! 4th and inches. 4th and inches for Kelsey Brown. She just could not get quite there. Now the question becomes, what do they do from here?
Well, it was a dilemma for Kelsey Brown. Do you get out of bounds and stop the clock, or do you fight forward and try and get the yardage? And Brown managed to get out of bounds, which I think was the correct play. You're obviously going for it here. You're down 5. You need to get the ball down the field.
They need Brooke Beisel to carry it for about half a yard. No, they're actually going to throw it. Utah over the middle. That one was wide open. Up to the 41-yard line.
Great
and
catch
they're
by
going to be
Uron Hammer.
marching down the field.
His Uron Hammer's first catch of the game, Jack.
Hey, good for him. I'm always a big fan of tight ends. 1st and 10, throws it over to Brooke Beisel. Beisel carries it forward for an extra 2 yards. Yep, they do not want to go into their tapestry of timeouts just yet. Another deep drop from Tommy Utah, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked for a 3rd and 15. They need 15 yards for a first down, and it's 15 yards to keep them alive.
And I thought the hurry-up was interesting because that is not a personnel grouping that you want to be throwing downfield with. 2 running backs and 3 tight ends. You want to get wide receivers out there. You want to get Ace Sharp and Kelsey Brown out there. Tommy Utah couldn't find anybody to get open, and he took a sack.
3rd and 15, high snap for Tommy Utah. Throws over the middle. That was going to be tipped and still up in the air. No one caught it, though. 4th and 15. This is for the ball game.
A little bit of volleyball broke out there. Kelsey Brown and a host of others for both teams. tossing that ball up into the air. Somehow it fell to the ground. Now this is it right here. 4th and 15. If you're Tommy Utah, you find a way to get this ball to Kelsey Brown.
Or just get it downfield no matter who it is. Low snap for Utah. Hit as he throws. No, it's not going to be enough. San Jose clamps it down on the receiver. And Philadelphia Collins, the man named after the city of brotherly love, had no love to show on that play and for Yaron Hammer.
And Yaron Hammer came up with a catch. Was the man on the all slants. Came down with it just a little short. And Collins put the wood to him the second he got to him. The second that ball was in his hands.
And now San Jose playing for the first down. About the 37-yard lines where they need to get to. Jimmy Hazard's going to take the first handoff. Nothing gained, nothing lost. And Salt Lake City's going to have to burn a second timeout.
And San Jose has really done a nice job of making Salt Lake City play on their terms. In terms of making them defend the run. In terms of keeping Brooke Beisel in this game when she was struggling just because Tommy Utah struggled to throw the football. And really all around, this has just been a tremendous effort by San Jose tonight.
And they're going to start the kneeing now. I think that'll give them just enough time. Interesting for them to start doing it now instead of trying to at least play for the first down or at least, hand it off to Jimmy Hazard.
Well, they're out of timeouts, so they'll take a knee and another 40 seconds will run off.
True.
Have to punt this thing away.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so there's going to be about 25 seconds remaining when the punt will be sent flying, actually. Yeah, about 25 seconds. And then Salt Lake City is going to have pretty much only one shot at the end zone.
And one's really all you need.
Yeah. One's better than 0. It's a greater number. Low snap. Punt is away. Fielded at about the 10. And the punt return's not going to help matters. 85 yards in one play, basically, is what the Rustlers need.
So any completion where the receiver stays in bounds is trouble. Any run is trouble.
Yeah. Expect to maybe see like a Hail Mary setup play where they try to throw to Kelsey Brown on the sidelines. That's probably what this formation here is for. Yep, and that looks like what they're going to do. No, they're going to throw over the middle, and it's going to be picked off. San Jose seals the deal. What was that?
That was Jermaine Menafield, and that's what San Jose has been doing
Thank you for pointing it out.
Yeah, very happy to. And look, they're going to Kelsey Brown and Menafield. A little late to the party, but he has a special gift just waiting for him. That ball deflected right into his hands. And I was not a fan of the decision, obviously, either. But, in situations like that, usually the middle of the field is wide open. Everybody's guarding the sidelines. Everybody's guarding deep. You've got a lot of green grass to throw to, but it did not work out that time.
Yeah, and with that, San Jose get an easy path to 3-2, and they stay in touch with the playoff hunt. And really, if you're San Jose, those are the best words that you could hear after a game like that tonight.
Absolutely, and they really showed their mettle against a very good Salt Lake City team that really just walked into a tough environment, walked into a game plan that saw Jimmy Hazard coming up with outstanding volume, outstanding rushing, finished with 218 yards, and really a guy who, in my opinion, should have been getting more of the offensive pie, if you will, earlier in the season. And that was probably something Salt Lake City was not ready for. But Hazard, the way he was able to run, just did a great job.
Yeah, meanwhile for Salt Lake City as well, it seemed to be that the team was certainly there. They had a competently put together game plan, and I'm not going to knock them for that. However, it just seems to be that they made a few mistakes that just cost them the game. That Kelsey Brown fumble, not Kelsey Brown, that was actually Brooke Beisel on the fumble.
Right.
And that interception from Tommy Utah, those two turnovers, especially as far as turnovers are concerned, those were extremely costly.
And it wasn't just the turnovers either. It was just some of the play of the offense. We saw A Sharp miss a first down because he went out of bounds. We saw Kelsey Brown do something similar late in the game at a pivotal moment. And there was not a lot of margin for error for this Salt Lake City team. This defense is great. The secondary is outstanding. Jermaine Menefield had a great game. Josh Ramsey recovered that fumble and then ran it down the field. And it's just a San Jose team that came ready to play. And whether it's Joseph Green or Jimmy Hazard, this team's got many ways to beat you.
Yeah, I saw some people in the chat calling an upset, but really, with the way that San Jose's been playing, sure, as far as the records are concerned, it's certainly an upset. But San Jose was easily the better team, and it did not actually look like it was that much of an outclassment. Player of the game honors about to come up here. And, of course, it's none other than Jimmy Hazard. I mean, who else could it have been, Josh?
Absolutely nobody, unless you're going to split that Player of the Game award up into 6 pieces and give it to the San Jose defense. Jimmy Hazard, otherworldly game tonight. Well-deserved. Congratulations to San Jose.
Yeah, congratulations, San Jose. And from all of us here at the SFLm, I'm Jack Brown, alongside Josh Circle, Cam Irvine up in the booth, making everything look smooth for you guys. We say so long. Have a wonderful Sunday evening, and you know what? Good luck at work this week. Let's go.